Hi everybody, it's Mia Penfold here at ASA, All Strings Attached. I'm reading an article today from Daily Mail, Mail Online. It is by Martin Robinson, and I'm going to go ahead. So, English teacher 32 who taught pupils to believe in themselves hanged herself as she struggled with low self-esteem in Quest hears. Anna McLeod, 32, who inspired her pupils in Lancaster to believe in themselves, but she struggled with low self-esteem and was on antidepressants in 2015. Her husband Robert said she was always worried about letting down the school and the pupils, and she wouldn't dish out compliments, but she would dish out compliments but would never take any for herself. Our Ladies Catholic College teacher found dead at home in November last year. An outstanding English teacher hanged herself after she fought a battle with low self-esteem, and an inquest has heard. Anna McLeod, 32, would inspire her pupils to believe in themselves, but yet lacked self-worth and feared she was letting down her school and its students in Lancaster. Last November, the 16th, Mrs. McLeod, who was the head of year at Our Ladies Catholic College, was found dead at her home in November last year. Her husband, Robert McLeod, a design engineer from Lancaster, said she was beautiful and clever, and she would dish out loads of compliments but would never take any for herself. She loved her job and was always worried about whether she was letting down the school or her pupils or her colleagues, and a big lack of self-worth that was the basis of her issues. Not only did she have friends, but she had a good family as well that supported each other. Mrs. McLeod had begun teaching English at Our Ladies in September 2010, organised a boys' reading group, led World Book Day events, and was also a leader of the Duke of Edinburgh expeditions. The inquest into her death was told that she was prescribed antidepressants in June 2015, but had never admitted to having such suicidal thoughts. At her Lancaster inquest, Coroner James Newman said the intention was not clear and recorded a narrative and conclusion. Her family GP, Joanna Smith, said she was prescribed antidepressants in June 2015. In 2016, she was giving citalopram. In February 2017, she reported that she wasn't feeling well. In February 2018, she was still taking citalopram. In terms of her history, no previous recording of self-harm or suicidal thoughts. Police confirmed that there was no third-party involvement. Coroner James Newman said there was 3 short-form conclusions I have to consider, but to consider whether her death was a result of a suicide. To come to this conclusion, I have to be sure that on balance of probabilities, she took her own life and did so with intent. I have no difficulty with the first part of that, but not the second. The other 2 short-form conclusions I can give are one misadventure, which can unintend the consequence of intention act, or an open conclusion, which there is not enough evidence to come to a short-term conclusion. Can I rule out suicide? No, but I have to rely on the evidence and the intent that's just not there. She has not talked about self-harm in the past, although she did lack self-esteem and she would not see herself for who she was. Her intention was not clear in the evidence. At the time of the tragedy, head teacher Helen Seddon said Mrs. McLeod, known as Miss Brindle in school, was an excellent teacher who had passion for her job and inspired her students. She had grown to be an excellent classroom teacher who had passion for enabling children of all abilities to achieve their very best, but more importantly inspired them so that they enjoyed their learning and believed in themselves. During her time at school, she has not only taught English, but as a much-loved teacher and an excellent carrying year head. She organised boys' reading group, led World Book Day events. She was a leader of Duke of Edinburgh and ensured other students got out of the classroom and into the countryside that she loved so very much. She filled our classroom and staff room with sparkle and laughter and love. And as the school, we are heartbroken, and we will make sure that she is remembered, and that as staff, we continue her example to inspire all students to believe in themselves and to know that they are loved so that they can be the best that they can be. She was not just a talented teacher, but a wonderful human being, and our school community will be very sad over the coming weeks. I would also ask you all to keep her and our community in your thoughts and your prayers and our faith, and give us confidence, and she is now at peace. In statement, Mrs. McLeod's family, Anna's greatest achievement was the effect she had on her pupils at her school, and the extra effort and her personal time that was put into making sure the kids were happy. She helped pupils in numerous ways, including with the Saturday morning revision and classroom makeovers, and she ensured that she celebrated every child's birthday with cake. She was always incredibly self-motivated and hard-working, and would always have 2 part-time jobs or college and a job prior to teaching.